Our third speaker is the COO of the Lamoiyan Corporation. Please put your hands together for Mr. Joel Conrad Pedro. Good afternoon! Can you hear me? Ulitin nga natin na, you can do better than that. Good afternoon! Who are the guys from, let's start with some schools. Are there anybody from TUP right here? TUP, give me some noise! Oh, dito pala. Sorry, dito. Okay, how about, I saw some schools, UST. Is UST the house? I hear you. Alright, how about the Blue Eagles? Hala, buti na lang, nasa lista ako eh. Okay. How about the Archers? Oh my goodness, I'm by myself. But let me show you something that you can follow me with. Kasi, well, sorry, I missed some schools. What schools? PUP! Alright. Ganyan din ang energy pag nagsasalita ako. Okay, Ben, one more time. PUP! Alright. There we go. Okay, can we all stand up for a second? Can you stand up for a second for me? Stand up for a second. Tayo muna tayo. Everybody in the house, stand up! Alright. Would you agree with me that it's been a long day? And it's gonna be a little tiring, right? So tap the person to your left. Tap the person to your left, okay? Tell them you're so beautiful. All right, tap the person to your right. Looks can be deceiving. All right, you've been great. Take a seat, take a seat. All right, settle down. So I'm Joel Pedro, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Lamoiyan Corporation, and I run an adventure business called Adventure Kings. If you'd like to follow us, please do so on the following things here, and let me move on. No matter what reason you're here today, okay? How many of you are here because you want to learn? Taas ang kamay. Okay. How many of you, your professors asked you to come here? Taas ang kamay. I know what you feel. How many of you, sabi ng professor, may plus points, kaya nandito kayo? Patay. Okay. But would you agree with me in my observation that no matter how tired and how long the day is, a smile can brighten up your day, yes? Let me talk about a smile. You know, a smile, a Filipino smile is quite resilient. Let me give you some facts. Smiling is contagious. Smiling makes you prettier. Employers tend to promote people who often smile. We can detect smiles away. And did you know that it's easier to smile than to frown? Subukan. If you see your crush, by the way, I heard Howard is single. See? Di ba nakasmile kayo? Wala pa nangyayari, di ba? Oh. If you listen to my presentation, I might post his number on my page. But that's not my talk, okay? You know, we just had a bad calamity just over the weekend, and I'm amazed that you guys are here. Give yourselves a round of applause. Yes? But there are different reasons to smile, and here are some. person to your left. Tap the person to your left. Quickly, quickly. Parang mo, nag-toothbrush ka na ba? Tap the person to your right. Quickly, tap the person to your right. Sabihin mo, mag-happy ka na. Alright, since I'm representing our company, that's the end of my plug. Alright, let's continue. Today I want to talk about, quickly, turning passions into a career. Turning passions into a career. You know, before we go into that, I want to share with you some of my experiences throughout my career on how the things that I've learned and the things that I go through. Okay lang ba sa inyo yan? Kung hindi, okay lang rin. So what is a passion? Let's start with that. Passion is a result of doing something you love. Doing something you love. It's something you'll probably do for free, and you can't believe you're getting paid to do it. It blurs the line between work and play. Passion gives life purpose and meaning. It's something you love doing and you're good at, you're good at it as well. And when you're doing your passion, you lose track of time, and you're happy thinking about it and just want to talk about it. Na-feel nyo na ba yan? Pag wala, maraming walang passion. In short, passion is a strong feeling of enthusiasm or excitement for something or about doing something. The thing with passions, there are good passions and bad passions. I encourage you that in your life, if you want to develop passions into a career, you have to evaluate. Hindi lahat ng tao pareho ang opportunity. Hindi pareho, kumbaga sa cards, hindi lahat are given the same deck of cards. We are all dealt with different cards, and we have to play the cards that are dealt with. And it's up to us to choose whether those cards that you're dealt with is something good or something bad. My encouragement for you is to develop the good passions. So let me ask you this. What are you passionate about? Millennials, what are you passionate about? Facebook. Travel. How many likes to travel? Travel. Is coming to SM Arena travel? Yes, you know, sometimes it takes longer to go from my house to SM Arena than Manila to Baguio, di ba? So yes, we like to travel. How about this? Business. How many are very passionate about business? Give me a raise your hands. Di ba? Meron kayong mga classmates na super ahente, tama ba? Kahit ballpen binibenta, tama? Dati, when I was in school, binibenta ko candy. Okay? Kaya lang hindi ko nababayaran, hindi na problema, hinihingi. Alright? So we know that some passions is business. Some people are passionate with gadgets, yeah, social media, yeah? In fact, let me ask, how many of you are looking at your Facebook right now while I'm talking? Okay, yung mga hindi sumagot, yun na yun, right? We are very passionate about different things, to be social. But would you allow myself to introduce to you the most important passion in my life after God? Okay lang ba yun? That's my one and only love. That's my wife, yeah, and my family. Si Howard na ang single. So this is my wife and my family. These are my first passions. That's Natasha, that's Ariana, and that's Carolyn. In fact, my wife is here with me today. Can you give her a round of applause, Carolyn? I actually brought my 4-year-old with me. Natasha, say hi. Yeah, so they're here to support Daddy. So they're my most important passion. I've been married for 6 years. So this is Carolyn. Yes. Parang sabi niya, lugi ako ah. Or lugi siya. I've been married for 6 years. And that's my wife, Carolyn. And this is me. When I'm... when I'm dreaming. No, that's me. And, you know, my wife, it's funny because Carolyn is half Athenian, half American. Me, half Lasallian, half Chinese. Oh. So don't believe that green and blue cannot mix, okay? It does mix. When I was dating my wife, I did not exactly have a strong feeling for her. O, di ba? Haba ng hair. At the beginning. See, I like chinitas, and she likes Caucasians. Alright? She's Athenian, I'm Lasallian. She's a doctor, I'm a salesman. She's beautiful, I'm... Mabait, oo na, mabait. Okay, she's smart, I'm smarter, I married her, okay? So, needless to say, our passion for each other just developed into love. Yan ang love story namin. What's my point? This is my point. Passion isn't something you just feel. Passion isn't something you just feel. It's something you develop over time. I'll repeat that. Passion isn't something you just feel. It's something you develop over time. We all have different gifts and opportunities. And God has a purpose for your life. What you do differs from a 10-year-old and when you're older. And sometimes with passion, my suggestion is not to trust your heart. Because the heart is deceiving. We cannot just base everything on feelings. Oh, nehugo. We have to develop what is entrusted to us. We live in a world that asks us to compare. Say with me, compare. My suggestion for you, if you want to start something and turn your passion into something, stop comparing to the person next to you. Because we are all different. Let me give you an illustration of comparing. Okay, how many of you been to a grocery line? Where you're in a grocery line, diba? Tayo ka sa linya, kuha ka ng basket mo, you stay there, anong ginagawa mo habang nakahintay sa pila? Tinitingnan mo yung linya ng kabila kung ano laman ng basket, diba? Uy, maraming laman. Or yung iba, tinitingnan kung anong mas mabilis na linya, tama? So tatlo yung line, pag dito nakapila, bumilis doon, anong gagawin? Papunta dito. Doon sa senior citizen lane, di ba? My point is this. We are being trained in our culture to compare. Sometimes when we graduate, we compare each other what jobs we have, what careers we have. Well, you know what? Si Kuya Joel, he's running a business. Me, I'm just an employee. That's not the point. The point is we are all entrusted with different things. And the more important thing is what you do with what you're interested in. Let's think about this. After getting a Vios, you want a Mercedes? Grabe. Fortuner lang, di ba? After you graduate, what do you want to do? Get a job. After you make 100,000, what do you want to make next? 100 million. Grabe. Okay yung job. Okay? After you buy an iPhone 8, you want the? Samsung na raw. iPhone 8, you want iPhone 9, right? If you buy a Samsung 8, you want to upgrade to a Note 8, di ba? And after listening to me talk, what toothpaste do you want to use? Alright, very good. You have just upgraded, alright? My point is this, as millennials, we are all given different opportunities. And we like to keep ourselves busy with projects, yeah? I started my career pretty late in our business. I started when I was 8, okay? Super late, diba? That's me, in the middle, yes, that's me. And I started filling toothpaste in our plant. And I got paid 20 pesos a day with 2 15-minute breaks and lunch. Child labor, no? But that was my history. And from there, it developed to being a photocopier and a shredder. Okay? Hindi pa kayo naabutan nun. Dati may machine dyan na nilalagay. You get all the documents that are confidential, and all they have is like this stick, and then you have to go through it. Nakagamit ko ba kayo ng shredder? May technique yun. Di ba? Hindi ka pwede lumampas sa 6 sheets. Kasi pag lumampas ka sa 6, stuck. Yan. So yan ang shredder story. Okay? Then from there, became a marketing assistant, and I became AVP, all vacant positions, and finally to being a COO. And that's our company, Lamoiyan. Lamoiyan, by the way, is celebrating 30 years. Yes, we're 30 years old. So Lamoiyan was actually a millennial. And our story came to be, you probably have heard them, so I'm not going to go through that. We started as a tube manufacturer and supplied the other multinationals with their tubes. But the sad thing is, all the materials changed into plastic, and my dad was left with machinery and no one to buy the product. To make the long story short, we decided to make our own toothpaste and compete with the other giants. That's happy. 30 years later, we are still competing. But let me share you a principle that's important from that story. Understand why you do what you do. Let me repeat that. Understand why you do what you do. Sometimes we go through life with emotions. Graduate, take a job, do this, do that, but we fail to ask the question of why you're doing a certain thing. And without understanding the why, then what you're doing becomes meaningless. Sayang ang passion. Understand why you do what you do. This will give you direction when you face adversity and problems. For our company, this was a verse that was given to us. It says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future." This is why we do what we do. We are here to make a difference for the glory of God. That's who Lamoiyan is. That's who Happy is. So, 3 suggestions in turning your passion into a career. Alright? There are 3 things to develop. Right? Do this with me. 3 things to develop. Can you raise your right hand? Okay. This is the letter H. Okay? Letter H. See, we hired deaf, so it's important for us to learn a little bit of sign language, alright? So let's do this. First one, you have to develop the head. Okay? Head. This is head. H. It's like okay, there. Don't go to your cheek. You know why? That's napkin. So this is head, okay? Head. Alright, this is head. And then, develop the heart. Paano ang heart? Ganon. Joke lang. Heart. That's heart. And finally, hands. Okay, this is how you sign letter H. That's hands. That's my main 3 points. Let's talk about the head. The head is developing knowledge. What you're doing now, it says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. When I say develop knowledge, this is the things that I think for myself that I did. First, I tried to find a mentor. What's a mentor? Mentor is someone you respect. It could be a teacher, a professor, someone older, someone you've read about, a peer. Your parents, your family, your dad, right? So these are all mentors. Find a mentor. Ask them about things, your questions. It'll give you knowledge. Listening to seminars and talks like this include that in knowledge. These are all knowledge builders. But we must continue to learn. But we must develop holistically and not just knowledge. We go to the second one. We have to develop the heart. Sign it with me, heart. You have to develop the heart. Heart. In heart, there are 3 key things: relationship, character, and culture. Character, listen to me. Character is who you are when nobody's looking. Character is who you are when nobody's looking. In this day and age, we're so used to performing. The problem is there's no authenticity. Who we are on stage are different from who we are backstage. And you know what? As millennials, you all know that you can detect that from a mile away if the person in front is not speaking authentically. Tama ba? So it's important that who you are up front is the same person in the back. That's character. Let's test this. Okay? Ang pinakamahirap na tao sa buhay are not your friends. Ang pinakamahirap na tao sa buhay to build character are your family. is your mom, is your brother, is my wife. I love my wife, but you know what? My wife is my biggest sounding board. And minsan, ang pinakamahirap itanong sa kanya, and I will give you the secret to a great marriage, just ask this question. How can I improve? When you ask that question, make sure wag mo ilabas yung shotgun because you will hear a lot. But you know, these are all character building. We always need someone who will tell you the truth so that we can all improve. Don't waste hardships and failures in life. It's God's way of developing us for the best. And hopefully, the character you develop will translate into a culture. Say it with me, culture. Okay, this is our work culture. This is an illustration, all right? This is how our company works. We work with integrity. We work with transparency. We work with communication. We have to develop appreciation. We never give up. Be willing to listen. Be willing to change. And be a leader. There's a quote that says, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. That's Peter Marshall. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. So ask yourself that question. How's my relationship with my parents? How's my relationship with the people closest to you? And be honest to yourself. If it's not doing too well, it's okay. Everybody has the same problem. But the point is, be willing to change. Be willing to develop so we become better. That's the heart. And last but not the least, it's called hands, right? Hands. Show me your hands. Finding hands. The last one is hands. And there are a couple of things in hands. First is leadership. Leadership. What is leadership? Leadership is influence. He who thinks he is a leader but has no followers is only taking a walk. See, influence is helping people love to do what they hate. I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. These are the real test of influence. Let me show you this video of what they do to each other.
Yes, this is great. Good job, guys. Who needs help when your 2 daughters at the age of 3 and 1 can clean the floor and the chair? Good job.
Okay.
Good work, Conrad. I can see you're really rubbing that down really well.
My point is, leadership is by example. I don't know who's leading who there. No, my point is, they follow each other. They don't care what we say as a parent. The best influence is what we do, how we act. Hindi lang pwede puro kwento. Kaya pag pinapaturo sa akin ang humility, ayaw ko turo. Pag pinapaturo ang patience, paano ko tuturo yan? The most impatient guy in the world. But we have to be authentic and improve. Okay, can you all stand for a second bago tayo makatulog? I'm about to finish. Help me out. Stand for a second. We're gonna illustrate how leadership is by example, okay? Here are the rules. Don't think, just go with your instinct, okay? Raise your right hand. Quickly, raise your right hand. In a count of 3, we will clap. Okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, nawala yung effect. Kasi dapat yung 2 yung clap. Okay, but give yourselves a round of applause. Take your seat. If some of you were watching me, you would have clapped on the second count. I hate to explain the illustration, but you get the point. Next is stewardship. Poor is he who works with a negligent hand, but the hand of the diligent makes rich. Be a good steward of what you have. If you're good at designing, be good at that. If you're good at finance, be good at that. If you're a good gardener, be good at that. The point is, be a good steward. I believe being steward is not about what you have or don't have, it's about what we do with what we have. I love cars. That's not my cars, okay? I love cars. And I always dreamed of running a car business and running different types of anything to do with cars. Fix the car, set up the car, and all that stuff. But also, I'm also passionate about adventure. The other one is, I like mountain climbing, Yeah, not small pulag. And all of these things. And you know, before, when I tried to start my business, my parents always said, Joel, don't do that. It's a waste of time. But this all changed last year when I showed them a concept. And if you put cars together with adventure, this is what happens. So that is Adventure Kings. That's my other business. So I run an adventure overland business. So what is it? Basically, it's camping, glamping that uses your vehicle. That video happened last February, and would you believe that's in the Philippines? That is not in Australia, that's not a YouTube video. You can check it out. So please, if you want to help us out, please do follow us at Adventure Kings. It's called that Adventure Kings PH. I'll greatly appreciate that if you can like us on Facebook and Instagram. So that's in Zambales, and basically putting 4x4 vehicles together with a tents, drawer systems, and all that stuff. Passion turned into business. I'll end with this. And whatever you do it heartily as to the Lord and not to man. Practice. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Learn to execute what you're thinking. Experiment. Because most of the time, when we are shooting for a business, it looks like that. We always miss the mark. But the point is, if you stop shooting, then you will never hit the mark. Turn your passions into a career, develop your heart, develop your head, and develop your hands. Good afternoon.
Mr. Joel Conrad Pedro, COO of Lamoiyan Corporation. Sir Joel, thank you so much. So once again, the principles of your company, that is the head. Everybody, the head, the heart, and the hands. Ganda. Beautiful, inspiring message, Sir Joel. So may we call on now Vince. I believe, sir, one of our college students has a question for you. Over here.
Yes, I see you. Yeah.
Way at the back. Okay, how are you guys doing? How are you guys doing at the back? Make some noise, come on! Woo! Okay, but I do have a student here to ask Sir Joel a question. Okay, so please state your name and your school and your question.
Alright, hello you guys. I'm Ryan Pajon from the University of Santo Tomas. And my question is, as a COO, how do you deal with your employees, and as well as how do you avoid and resist unethical temptations such as malversation in funds and the pilferage and embezzlement in your organization? Thank you.
Haba na na.
Very specific, sir. Specific.
Alright, how do I deal with employees? Can I just validate that question? Are you referring to the employees who are more senior than me? Tama ba?
Yes, we can do with that. Yeah, senior.
Okay. The challenges of being a millennial or leading in a corporation is most of my mancom are actually older than me. Most, not all. The game here is back to the culture, relationship. Hindi pwede mayabang eh. If you feel like you know everything, they'll shut you out. And without people, nothing moves. You can have the best idea and the guy next to you, hindi ka feel, kahit na gaano ka brilliant yun, nothing happens. So always, I use this term, buy in. Buy in. So always try to make sure there's buy-in before you move. So you have to be a good influencer in that and developing leadership skills. Second question was part of how do you deal with pilferages and all these things. Tama ba? Did I get that right? Yes. Okay. So with the pilferages, it's inevitable. All businesses will have pilferages. There's no such thing as no pilferages. But you always define the work culture. See, if you don't stand for anything, then all the rules are just variable. Rules are important. Let me give you an illustration. If you're playing basketball, how will it feel like if you play basketball without the free throw line, without the foul, and with 3 balls? That'd be very chaotic. Pero when we're playing basketball and you get called with a foul, I am not completely happy with that. Tama ba? In the same way, the point is this. Rules are there in a game to make it fun. Rules are not there to make life difficult. In the same way in a corporation, I hope that there are rules that are there and hopefully it's not personal. When rules are implemented, it's to make everything fun. And hopefully that could help you rule out different things in what's happening in corporation.
Thank you so much. Once again, that was Joel Conrad Pedro, COO of Lamoiyan Corporation. Calling now on Sir Benny, Ms. Dana, and Ms. Marivic. Sir, kindly remain on stage for you to be awarded a token of appreciation. A big round of applause for Joel Conrad Pedro, again the COO of Lamoiyan Corporation.